talk as people, and if that's the case, that's the case. I learn more about you because I care about you as a person, but I'm not using that for games. So the fact that she did that rubbed me the wrong way. So there's, about 4 things there, America, that I'm considering. What was the other thing? There's so much that she brought in that was nonsense. Oh, then she brings up the final 2 thing with Turner, and pretty much saying that Turner keeps saying that he's really tight with me, and Alyssa's saying the same thing. Now, I do have a final 2 with her. That's a fact. But, I'm yelling this out loud. But, at the same time, she don't need to know that. And at the end of the day, I'm very open-minded with how this game goes. But logically, why would I get rid of Turner this week when he has a bigger target on his back for the following week? And he's tight with me so that I wouldn't be the target next week. She even told me that makes sense, but she wouldn't feel right with knowing that that's the case. Then she throws out a scenario where she's like, yeah, I just don't see why you would want to work with Turner and Alyssa. I said, well, how's Alyssa going to get involved? She was like, I guess you would be the split vote to keep Taylor over Alyssa. I was like, yes, and that's exactly what I would plan on doing. What are you talking about? So for me, she's clearly not trusting me. There's just so many red flags in this conversation that it just makes it even more apparent that she needs to be on the first way out of here, because I'm just not respecting her game right now. Sitting next to her in a final 2, I guess, would be ideal. Maybe that's the more logical path, but she is also pretty good at these mental comms. She knows about, Big Brother. She's a fan, so it's not as if these things are just going to go over her head. She's going to be prepared for these. She did a pretty good job in the competition today. She keeps wanting to say that Turner is much more of a mental threat than he is, than what she thought he was, but yet she beat him today. And she was pitching to me the day before that we ought to keep Turner. So now that she's won the power veto and she can take herself down, now she's saying she wants to get rid of Turner. So just awfully odd. And then I keep asking her, did she have any conversation with Taylor or Turner? And she still lies to me, saying that she hasn't, when both of them came into this room, looked each other in the eye, and said the same exact thing that she came up to them literally right after I won my HOH and tried to establish a final 2. I'm the only person she hasn't done that with. Seems a little bit odd, a little bit fishy. So why would I feel like I have to listen to a word that you have to say about what I should do with my replacement nominee? It's just making it more apparent that, unfortunately for Taylor's game, I'm going to have to go through with it and put her up on the block. But I know that the saving grace is that if it's a split vote, which it may not even get to that point, because Turner's going to go through and I think vote Alyssa out. I think if we have that conversation, he's already confirmed that he's fine with doing that, and he can just pin it all on me. He still has a jury vote with Alyssa, so to me it seems like I'm going to be fine with taking Alyssa out this week with Taylor on the block. Hopefully with Taylor saying that she wasn't bound to go home regardless, she still has trust in me. I can share all of this nonsense that she just spewed with me, or that Taylor or Brittany just spewed with me with Taylor, see where her head's at. I'm sure she wants to make a big move with Turner, but we already talked about the circumstances under which that had to happen. She had to win this veto in order for that to happen. It's not good for my game to get rid of Turner in this way. I'm not going to do it. And that whole conversation with Brittany just confirmed even more that I do not need to put Turner up on the block, because they clearly have all intentions of evicting him this week. So, and then what happens? Next week, I'm supposed to trust and believe that I'm not going to touch the block, or that that one of them is going to decide to keep me, when I was the one who beat Michael in that veto competition and have that on my resume. No. What? Oh man, yeah, we keep cracking me up. But here we are. I understand that's what the referee is. Just bad tactics, continuing to lie. I would even was her coming up to me and jumping in front of me with her book. And even her bringing up the money that she needs for her toddler, wanted to be second at minimum. Now, I'm pretty fine with her doing that before. So, that's just how I'm feeling. My daughter,